Attention bassists, this video is for you. Whether you're a beginner, a medium, or an advanced bass player, this video is essential to you. Because today, we're going to go through every bass scale. So this is a video you must add to your favorites and rewatch till you learn every scale that is featured here. To make the learning experience easier, you have a list with every scale so you can access them whenever you want. If you don't have much time right now, I have to let you know this is a long video. It's 20 minutes long. So watch it when you have the time, or bit by bit. Now, let's begin! We will be starting every scale on the G note, on the 3rd fret of your 4th string. And the numbers you'll be watching on the screen are those of your left hand. Starting every scale from the same note is a good way to compare them all. But don't forget that depending on the tonality you find yourself in, every scale can start from a different note. The first scale we're going to see today is the major scale. Now, we're going to play the major arpeggio included in this scale. Now, let's take a look at the major scale intervallic. It's formed by the tonic, a 1st, a major 2nd, a major 3rd, a perfect 4th, a perfect 5th, a major 6th, and a major 7th. That's one semitone away from the octave. The second scale we'll go through today is the Dorian mode or the Dorian scale. The Dorian mode comes from the 2nd note of the major scale, because it is the 2nd degree. The Dorian mode is a minor scale, but has a major 6th, so you have to pay special attention to this scale. A minor scale with a major 6th. Let's begin! Now, we're going to play the minor triad arpeggio included in this scale. Let's go through its intervals. The Dorian mode is formed by a 1st, the tonic, a major 2nd, a minor 3rd, a perfect 4th, a perfect 5th, a major 6th, and a minor 7th. That's one tone away from the octave.
Hi, I'm Monica, and let me introduce my colleague Aitana. This instructional video has been developed by Ernesto Martín, a bass instructor from Spain with over 25 years of experience. All the content you'll learn here has been thoroughly verified and is of the highest quality. So, take this opportunity to save the video because I assure you it will serve as a valuable reference manual. Now, let's continue with more scales.
The next scale we're going to see today is the Phrygian scale or the Phrygian mode. This scale comes from the 3rd note of the major scale. The Phrygian scale is commonly used in the flamenco genre or in Spanish music, since it's part of its folklore. It is a minor scale with a minor 2nd that gives it that flamenco touch, especially when we descend on the scale. Since it is a minor scale, it will include inside the minor arpeggio, that we're also going to play. Let's begin! Let's look at the Phrygian mode intervallic. The Phrygian mode is a minor scale that is formed by the tonic, a minor 2nd, a minor 3rd, a perfect 4th, a perfect 5th, a minor 6th, and a minor 7th, one tone away from the octave.
Before continuing with my colleague Aitana and the explanation of the scales, let me take a moment to tell you that this scale is commonly used in the flamenco genre. Moreover, you can explore it in depth within the style in the flamenco bass course developed by Ernesto Martín in collaboration with the first flamenco bassist, Carlos Benavent.
And it starts with the harmonic minor scale. The second part of the composition, which is quite intricate and detailed, includes a note that is distinctly flamenco in style. This particular note, just so you can see, is foreign to the chord structure, and is something that he skillfully introduces to add a unique flavor. And notice what a pinch it gives. Then it continues through the scale itself. But of course, at its core, it's based on playing with 2 scales, the major Phrygian and the minor Phrygian. And suddenly this note is worth it.
If you're interested in joining the launch of this course, take advantage of this opportunity to access the VIP list, which offers you a special price for this one-of-a-kind, historic course. Just click on this link. Now, let's continue with Aitana and the explanation of the next scales.
Now let's continue with the next scale or mode, in this case, the Lydian mode, that comes from the fourth note of the major scale. The Lydian mode is a major scale, but it has an augmented fourth that gives it that characteristic sound. Now, we're going to play the major arpeggio included in this scale. Very well, now we're going to explain the intervallic of the Lydian mode or scale. The Lydian mode has a first, a major second, a major third, an augmented fourth, a perfect fifth, a major sixth, and a major seventh, that is one semitone away from the octave. The Mixolydian mode comes from the fifth note of the major scale, and it has the same structure as the major scale, but with a minor seventh. This scale is frequently used in the blues genre, next to other scales that we're going to see next. Now we're going to play the major arpeggio included in this scale. Let's go through the intervallic of the Mixolydian mode. The Mixolydian scale is formed by a first, a major second, a major third, a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a major sixth, and a minor seventh, one tone away from the octave. The next scale we're going to study is the natural minor scale, also known as the Aeolian mode. The minor scale comes from the sixth note of the major scale, and it is also relative to the scale. If you're starting to learn scales, this is an essential scale to know, next to the major. You should be familiar with it because it is very useful to make bass lines and also to improvise. The minor arpeggio is included inside it. Let's start! In the minor arpeggio. Now let's focus on the minor scale intervals. The minor scale is formed by the tonic, a first, a major second, a minor third, a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a minor sixth, and a minor seventh, one tone away from the octave. Let's play the Aeolian mode one more time. The next scale we're going to see today is the last mode of the major scale. This scale comes from the seventh note of the major scale, the last note. This scale is a Locrian mode or Locrian scale, and it is a minor scale but with a minor second and also a diminished fifth. In this scale, there is a diminished triad chord included, also a semi-diminished chord when we play a four-note chord. When we start studying the modes, this scale seems a bit useless because it is a very unstable scale, but the truth is that if you continue studying harmony, you're going to find it is quite useful, so I recommend you learn it. Now let's start! And now we're going to play the diminished triad arpeggio included in this scale. Let's go through the intervallic of the Locrian mode or scale. The Locrian mode is formed by the tonic, a minor second, a minor third, a perfect fourth, a diminished fifth, a minor sixth, and a minor seventh, one tone away from the octave. Let's play the Locrian mode one more time. Okay, so those were the modes, the 7 scales that are generated by the major scale. Now, we're moving on to pentatonics. We have to have in mind that in the modes we have just seen, we will find a major pentatonic implicit in the major modes, and a minor pentatonic in the minor modes, that we will be able to use over them. However, for the 7th mode of the scale, we can't do this. Because of its diminished fifth, we can't play a pentatonic with a perfect fifth over it. The pentatonic scale is one of the scales that everybody plays when they're just beginning, so I advise you, if you're just starting, that you learn every fingering. Now, let's begin! Okay, now we're going to play the major arpeggio included in this scale. Now, let's go through the major pentatonic intervals. The major pentatonic is formed by a tonic, the first, a major second, a major third, a perfect fifth, and a major sixth, which is 1 tone and a half away from the octave. Now, we're going to study the minor pentatonic. The minor pentatonic is a scale that we're always going to be able to use over a minor chord. This scale is frequently used in rock music, and also combined with the blues scale, a scale that we will talk about later on. If you want to learn this scale well, I recommend you to click on the link in the description. Now, we're going to play the minor arpeggio included in this scale. Let's go through the intervals in the minor pentatonic. The minor pentatonic is formed by the tonic, a first, a minor third, a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, and a minor seventh, 1 tone away from the octave. Let's play the minor pentatonic scale one more time. And now that we have seen the pentatonic scales, we're going to study the blues scales. The first blues scale that we're going to study is the minor blues scale. The minor blues scale comes from the minor pentatonic, when we add a passing note between the third and fourth note. This particular note is an augmented fourth, or a diminished fifth, the blue note. If you want to learn the blues scales properly, we have a video in this channel where we analyze them in depth, so you can check it out and also subscribe so you can be notified when we post a new video. Let's begin! Now, we're going to play the minor arpeggio included in this scale. Now, let's study the intervallic of the blues scale. The blues scale is formed by the tonic, or a first, a minor third, a perfect fourth, an augmented fourth, or diminished fifth, the blue note, a perfect fifth, and a minor seventh, 1 tone away from the octave. Let's play the minor blues scale one more time. Next, we will be taking a look at the major blues scale. The major blues scale is a major pentatonic, but with a blue note added, which is the augmented second. This scale is also sometimes referred to as the country scale. Now, we're going to play the major arpeggio included in this scale. We could also play the minor arpeggio, which is also included in this scale. The major blues scale is formed by a first, the tonic, a major second, an augmented second or minor third, a major third, a perfect fifth, and a major sixth, which is 1 tone and a half away from the octave. Once we've seen the most common scales, which are the Greek modes, the pentatonics, and the blues scales, we're going to start seeing some scales that are a bit more advanced, but that you should also know. The first advanced scale that we're going to see is the minor harmonic scale. The minor harmonic scale generates a different tonal structure, because in it we find a new interval that didn't exist in the major scale, which is the augmented second between the minor sixth and the major seventh of the scale. The minor harmonic scale is going to generate 7 new modes or scales that we will study in further advanced courses. Right now, we can say that the minor harmonic scale is like the minor natural scale that we have studied previously, but with a major seventh. Let's begin. Now, we're going to see the minor arpeggio included in this scale. And now, let's take a look at the minor harmonic scale intervallic. It is formed by the tonic, a major second, a minor third, a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, and a minor sixth. That's going to create a tone and a half interval with the major seventh, a semitone away from the octave. Let's play the minor harmonic scale one more time. Now, let's play another scale that is essential to know, which is the minor melodic scale. The minor melodic scale is just like the minor harmonic scale, but instead of the minor sixth, it has a major sixth. This solves the melodic problem that the minor harmonic scale sets, generating that tone and a half distance. In the minor melodic scale, there are only tone or semitone distances. Let's begin. Now we will play the minor arpeggio that is included in the scale. Now, let's go through the intervallic of the minor melodic scale. The minor melodic scale is formed by the tonic, a major second, a minor third, a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a major sixth, and a major seventh. That is one semitone away from the octave. Let's play the minor melodic scale one more time. The last scale we will be seeing today is the Mixolydian flat 9th, flat 13th. This scale comes from the 5th degree of the minor harmonic scale we've gone through previously. It is also known as the major Phrygian, or even Spanish Phrygian, and it's commonly used in the flamenco genre. Also, this scale has a total dominant function, specifically the dominant function of a minor chord. Therefore, it is a scale we should really know well. Pay special attention to the fingering of the left hand, because we're going to have to play a distance of a tone between our second and third finger. Now we're going to play the major arpeggio that is included in this scale. This scale is formed by the tonic, a minor second, a major third, a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a minor sixth, and a minor seventh that is one tone away from the octave.
If you want to learn the scale in depth with all its vertical fingerings, don't forget that there's a detailed PDF available with this and all the scales featured in this video. You can get it right now by clicking on the product linked to the video in our YouTube verified store.